Last school year was a great year for Younglife in Northern Kentucky. We placed more leaders than we've ever had before, more volunteers. We have over 94 leaders now in leadership. Another place that we've experienced a ton of growth has been the number of ministries that we're in. We're in 20 ministries around the Northern Kentucky area. This is the most that we've ever had before. It's super exciting. 94 placed leaders in 20 different ministries. We've got 16 high schools that have ministries, 2 middle schools. We've got a college ministry at Northern Kentucky University. We've got a Capernaum ministry, which is our ministry to special needs students. And all of these ministries are flourishing and going great. And it's been super, super fun to be a part of the growth that we experienced as we've seen both new ministries open up and as we've grown in our leadership and the number of leaders we've been able to move into all these different places. One thing recently that we've been able to see get off the ground, it's been really exciting, has been our ministries at Dayton and Bellevue high schools. Those ministries can be harder to get off the ground and harder to run with being low-income schools, but God's been really great and the leaders have been amazing. And we've seen incredible growth in those schools and the ministries are really beginning to flourish there. And it's super exciting to see what's going on with those places. Also, our Wildlife program, which is our middle school ministry. Wildlife is the name that Younglife uses for those ministries. It's appropriately named because of the middle school kids.
We say yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord. Amen, amen, amen.
Highlands has become a super strong ministry, really foundational to our wildlife work, which is now allowing us to grow into other middle schools, and we're super excited about that. We hope to see at least 2 more middle schools start up this school year, and really it's because of the work that's been going on at Highlands and the parents and the people involved there and all that they've done. And that's been super neat. Another thing has been Jeremy, under his leadership, him and Aubrey have come and really begin working past year or so with the Capernaum work, and we've seen a ton of growth in that ministry. The leadership is strong, the leaders team is strong, the ministry is as strong as it's ever been, and that's really exciting. So a lot of great stuff going on in the Northern Kentucky area. We've also seen a ton of growth in our college ministry. The ministry at Northern Kentucky University has grown substantially over the past year or two, and it's super exciting to see that happening. We're very thankful for the ministry that we have at Northern Kentucky University because it really opens the door for helping students who maybe don't want to be leaders but still want to be involved in Younglife as they get older, and gives us opportunity to continue to mentor and disciple those students. So it's really neat the things that God's been doing in those places. All of these leaders, all 94 of them in all these ministries, do what we call contact work, a ton of time that they spend in the students' world. This includes going to football games, hanging out in parking lots, hanging out with students maybe where they might eat or hang out, wherever they can find them. And this is an important element of Younglife, as we feel like it's really important for our volunteers and for our leaders that they get a chance to earn the right to be heard. And what that means is we just want to have a real relationship with students and build friendships with students. And in addition to that, we don't want to just be building friendships with students who come to our things or come to the Younglife meetings, or students who are maybe already involved in God kind of stuff, but we're really wanting to build relationships with kids who are very unchurched or have no interest in God and are not students that would ever come to a Younglife meeting even. And we hope that by spending time at the school and spending time in their world, that we can get to know those students and build friendships with them. And so our leaders are doing that countless hours. You got 94 place leaders, 20 different ministries all over Northern Kentucky, spending hours and hours a week just building friendships with kids who don't know God and don't have maybe a mentor or someone in their life like these volunteers who are coming along. In most every ministry that we have going on, all 20 of them, we have a weekly club meeting. The club meeting is just an outreach, seeker-sensitive, fun meeting. It's meant to be an introductory meeting, happens on a weekly basis. It's called club. It's not something that you join like a club, but it's just a term that we use for the meeting itself. The club meeting is happening all over Northern Kentucky in all of these schools, all of these ministries. They happen in students' homes, they happen in basements. It's very exciting, the growth that we've seen. There's some schools where the clubs have gotten, really big ministries, is pushing up to as many as 100 students that might show up in someone's basement from just one of the schools. And they have a lot of fun, but in addition to fun, they also begin to be introduced to the idea of learning about God. But it's just introductory. It's just kind of the beginning of things. It's our hope to kind of draw people in and just have a good time. But we estimate in Northern Kentucky that there's anywhere from 800 to 900 students a week that are gathering in homes, in basements, getting a chance to be introduced to not just Younglife, but introduced to God and the idea of what it might be like to have a relationship with Him. And these club meetings have been going so well in so many different of our schools. We're super excited about the growth that we're seeing there. In addition to the club meetings that are run on a weekly basis, we also have then more in-depth type meetings that the students are involved in. And particularly every ministry, all 20 of them, will run a campaigner meeting. Now that's also an unusual name for a meeting. It's the original name of Younglife back in the 1960s was the Younglife Campaign. And so the name Campaigners kind of grew out of that. Campaigners, that meeting is just a large group Bible study. It's students who come together from each of these ministries, guys and girls, all different ages, but they all have an interest in learning more about God. And the volunteer leaders run those meetings for each of the schools. And they've been going really well all over Northern Kentucky. So we see those happening, but not just those large group Bible studies, those campaigner meetings are happening, but every ministry is also running small groups. So maybe one leader and 5 or 6 students that are meeting together to really discuss what it means to follow God, and they're looking at God's Word and looking at the Bible and trying to learn more about following Him. And this is going on all over Northern Kentucky, all these ministries. We probably estimate anywhere 300-ish or more high school students that are in Bible studies, in campaigner meetings around the area in all these schools. And the leaders who are trained regularly and have gone through a leader training in order to become leaders, they're working really hard with these students, both to help them learn in these Bible study formats, but also just as mentors, and as they build deep friendships with these students to help them learn to navigate life and use God as the compass. This past school year has been an amazing year for our camps, or our camping program. We've seen incredible growth. We've seen incredible numbers. Traditionally here in the area, in Northern Kentucky, we've sent a lot of students to summer camp. But this year and the past couple years, we've experienced even more than we've had in the years before that. It's been really exciting to see how God has used the summer camps and the fall weekends. So last fall, we probably had about 400 or so high school students from around Northern Kentucky. We take them away to just a weekend, just to get them away. We have a lot of fun with them. But we also talk to them about God and about God in their life. And that happened last fall. And then this past summer, over 500 high school students from Northern Kentucky went to summer camp. And this is one of our better years that we've ever had here in the area. And it's just so fun to see this many students in the area get a chance to spend a week, not just having fun, because they do have an amazing week and they're amazing properties that Younglife has around the country. But more importantly, many hundreds and hundreds of lives are changed because of them getting a chance to reflect and think about God in their life and what that might mean, and the leaders who are there with them to help talk those things through. So summer camp this past summer, unbelievable. We took students to several different camps around the country, and we saw incredible fruit from that. It's been really awesome. Younglife in Northern Kentucky has been an amazing thing to watch this past couple years, and this past year in particularly has been super fun, both with the growth in the leaders. As the result of that, we've seen more ministries that we've been able to open up. We've also seen all kinds of great numbers and God doing great things with the club and the campaigner and the Bible study ministries and the meetings that they're being run. And of course, our summer camps and fall weekends have been amazing. It's been an amazing year, but we're hopeful that the year gets even better. We're really looking forward to what God might have and will have happen in this upcoming year. We're looking forward to growth in not just in our campaigners and our clubs and our Bible studies, because we do want those to grow in every school. We anticipate that they will, and we're looking for ways to help them grow. But we do anticipate more volunteer leaders coming in. We see a great new group of maybe 15 or 20 new leaders that we might be able to put into some of these ministries. We'll be beginning a training program coming up here in the spring. And as we add those folks, we hope to add more ministries, possibly more wildlife ministries. We'd really like to see more going on in the middle schools, possibly more ministries going on in the high schools, whether it be some of the counties south of us or maybe some other places, maybe some of the Catholic schools. But we'd really like to see more happening with high school students. We want every student in the Northern Kentucky area to have a chance to hear about God, and we want to pray and look forward to what God might do this year coming up. And we really think that that God's going to keep doing really great things, and we're excited about what's coming.